Hi everyone, my name is Rachel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to style a poodle in a Continental trim. Today's model is my black miniature poodle. His name is Rain. He is a Malaysian and Thailand champion. He has just taken his bath and had a good blow dry. So what I'm trying to do here is just to get all the hair out of his eyes. So I'm gonna just wrap him up with the wrapping paper instead of just using the rubber band. This is to avoid the rubber band mark. Sometimes I may have different ways of doing things, using different tools, different products, different steps for the same dog, or different products or the same step on the different dogs. So for this video is just one of the way that I would use on Rain. The ear set. The ear set is level with the eye. So I'm trying to part the ear hair and the top knot hair as level as the eye. Sometimes you may want to do a little bit higher than the ear set or a little bit lower than the ear set, depending on what correction grooming you want to perform on your model. But for Rain, he has a pretty good ear set, so I'm just gonna follow his ear set. Okay, what I'm going to do now is to straighten the ear hair. I'm going to use the ironing tools. Try to get a smaller one so that it's easier to manipulate and doesn't get to the dog ear and burn the dog ear. So you can see Rain is quite comfortable, he's quite used to this procedure. He's just sitting on his favorite pillow. The secret to the good finishing of this Continental trim, it's a good topical conditioning and a good blow dry. By ironing the long finishing ear hair, it will further enhance the look. I'm trying to be as detailed as possible here, especially those hair that is near to the mouth and always get wet. So now, after you have done ironing, straightening, whatever you call it, you want to wrap the ear hair so that the hair doesn't get into the mouth. You can use any sort of wrapping. This is just what I use for today. So if you want to use the bandage or whatever, just go ahead. But if you were to use the same thing like what I'm doing, make sure that the rubber band that you use on the ear is not tight so that he has a good blood circulation on the ear. Now the poodle feet. You want to feel where the behind bone is or the second knuckle normally. But for Rain, he has a pretty good feet. But his problem is, I'm going to tell you a little secret. He has a little east-west when he's stacking on the table, but he's just so fine and beautiful when he's stacking on the floor. So, for grooming him, I normally wouldn't want to shave too high so that I can sort of cover his little foot on the table with a lower puff. Now, to do the round paw, I'm going to show you two ways. One, comb all the hair down and use a straight scissor to scissor all the way around. The scissor blade should be parallel across and do not slope in or out, otherwise your puff will look a bit funny when you place it down. Another way is same thing, comb all the way down and use a clipper to go all the way around. This two-way is a shortcut to have a natural bevel at the round paw, so that it saves a lot of time, saves a lot of our job. Now, let's check where's the base of the tail. The base of the tail is where your rosette starts. So when you shave the tail, you want to stop right there. Shaving the behind of the tail first until about 1 or 2 fingers above the base of the tail. The key here is when you stack the dog, the rosette and the tail shouldn't be touching each other. At the starting point of the rosette, you're going to shave one straight line down. We'll take care of the corner later. You can go ahead to shave whatever that is not meant to be there. And be careful of the cowlick. Some of the dog may have a lot of cowlick and you want to have a clean shave. You have to move around your clipper so that you have a smooth, clean shaved body. Now let's check this dog's neck. He has a pretty good neck. So you can see this dog has a pretty good proportion. You do not need to leave the rosette too high or too low. So you're going to shave the rosette at where the starting of the tuck up is. Here, I did the corner of the rosette as well. Okay, for feet, you want to measure at 45 degrees, 1 or 2 fingers above the hock. This will give the impression that the dog has a good hind angulation and a good kick when the dog is on the move. Now you may want to stretch the skin a little just to get to those inner part. Whatever you do outside, make sure you follow through the inside as well. For the front half, you want to check where's the higher point of the bracelet. That's where you're going to shave the puff at the 4/4. And you're going to shave all the way to the elbow. Now let's set the underline. In order to show he has a good leg, you want to trim as close as possible to the elbow to bring the dog higher and look taller and a better proportion. Just trim one straight line across. We'll take care of the shape later on. We're just doing the outline. this way I know how much leg this dog has and how much coat exactly I need to take off later. For Poodle, the nose to the stop and the stop to the occiput should be 1-1. Well, Rain has a pretty good proportion to this. So we're just gonna shave the face according to what he has, from the eye corner to the ear corner. And we're not gonna leave any V shape at the stop because he doesn't need that. The clipper that I'm using is Oscar from Taiwan. It's cordless and it's very quiet, so it is very good for Poodle or any dogs that doesn't really like shaving. The vibration is at minimal. It's very easy to use. For Rain, I use a blade 30, but every dog is different. You have to check the skin condition, or you have to try a few more times whether after shaving, whether it does any redness to the skin or whatsoever before the show. For Rain, I just go ahead and shave right before the show. He has no problem with it. For the neck, you want to measure where the neck starts to slope in. That's where you want to stop. Or you can use the muzzle as a measurement. The length of the muzzle is where the length of the neck that you're going to shave. You also want to make sure that the dog is on a standing position when you do the measurement. To put the show lid, it's right at the occiput, behind the ear. You want to put the show lid in before you do the spray up. Otherwise, you will have problem putting in the show lid. For Rain, I'm just going to go ahead and spray up, doing the bubble top knot right away. I don't know why, but I just did that for this video. I hope it will give you a better understanding after the spray up when I'm doing the trim. The first bubble, you want to part the hair from the corner of the eye to corner of the eyes. That is your first bubble, or the swell. Again, there are many ways of doing things. For Rain, this is how I like to do for him. It works every time I do this for him, and it's so easy. Okay, the second bubble is is right behind the first bubble, taking about the same width as the first bubble. Okay, as Rain doesn't has a lot of top knot hair, he doesn't need a lot of banding. So what I'm trying to do here is just separate the second bubble into half, and then I combine it together with the first bubble and tie them together. Make sure the tie is forward so that the spray up will not fall backward to the behind, if you know what I'm trying to say. Once you're happy with the bubble, now let's spray up. Okay, you want to secure the bubble with your 2 fingers so that when you do the spray up, it doesn't mess up the bubble. Make sure you comb nicely backward. Comb, comb, comb. And start reading a book page by page. This is just what I call it. It's like reading a book. So first page, comb it forward and spray. And then you read the second page. Whatever that doesn't stick to the spray, you comb back behind and you spray the second page. And then you comb again. And then you separate nicely before you spray. The spray that I'm using here is Artero. It's very nice for rain. It doesn't leave any marks or anything like that. It's light and it still can do a lot of touch up after that. So as the hair longer and longer towards the behind, when you spray, you can see that you only spray the lower part. So for those people that like the effect of really tailored spray up, you can do again from back to front. Like now we are spraying from front to the back. So you can do a second time spray up from back to front later. It's up to you. What I'm doing here is make sure right and left is the same. How much I take from the right is how much I take from the left. But some people do it like slow. You do not need to do exactly what I do. You can always do experiment, be innovative with your dog, try and error during practice so you know what works best for your dog. So when I spray until the withers, I stand the dog up so that the hair is nicely combed upwards but not forward. I normally would spray until where the hair can stand by itself. I will just stop there. Some people will go all the way to behind, so it's totally up to you. So now, that's the touch-up that I'm talking about. You can do this touch-up many times with this spray, and it still hold it up very nicely for you. Next is the chest. Poodle has a square body. So you don't want to leave too much hair in the front to make the front 4/4 too heavy. So I'm going to trim to where it's supposed to be to make the dog look square. Poodle has a good chest, so you want to show that the poodle has a good chest. You don't want to cut too short as well. If you were to draw a line from the breastbone to the point of rump, you will know exactly where you want to turn in the chest. This will show a very good angulation on the 4/4, formed by the good shoulder layback and a good upper arm. Now the parting line for the dog. If you were to separate this dog into 3 parts, you will see where is the parting line is. And this way, it will make any dog look balanced most of the time. Now, you have the parting line, you have the underline, so all you do is connect these 2 lines to show that this dog has a really good ribs. Let's check again. How much top knot this dog need? No, not much. There's a good neck. So now I can trim the top knot to make it nice and slightly rounded, as if that this dog has a really good scalp. Now I want to blend this area so that the spray up and the body, they are one. To cut the well-sprung ribs, you got to know where is the ribs. If you notice, I'm just using two scissors here, one curve, one straight. They are from Roseline. I normally do the outline with Roseline scissor and then I have another finishing scissor. But somehow I can also use these two scissors for the finishing. You know how sometimes groomers just have their favorite shear and you just groom the whole dog with one shear sometimes. Or most of the time, for my case. And you will never comb enough for a poodle. So comb and trim, comb again. Remember, you will never comb enough, so you comb again and trim again until you're happy with the finishing. Finally, I'm happy with the front, the jacket. Now I'm gonna do the rosette. Remember the straight line that we did earlier? So follow back the straight line that we did with the clipper. Scissor a straight line. No need to leave the rosette too high or too low. So we're just going to scissor at where we stop the clipper line. So we have 3 lines now. Let's round the corner. Now the middle, you're going to follow the width of the bone of the dog. Another straight line, same thing. So you make sure that you don't overshave. Now you can see clearly, you know how much exactly you need to shave the band in between the rosette. You can just push the clipper this way so that you can get the minimal amount of shaving. Or if you want to shave a bit more, you turn around the clipper and shave normally, then it will get a little bit more hair out. Yes, now we round the corner again with the clipper and with the scissors. So what I do is I always cut a square and then I round the corner. This band, same thing, I'm going to just push the clipper gently with the band so that they are not touching each other. The corner. When you're not sure, you can always leave a little bit bigger and you can always make it smaller. But I find that if you follow these steps, for me, you'll somehow get a very balanced and proportioned poodle. And then I can scissor the whole rosette to the length that I want. Not to scissor too short, as if they are like pancakes. You want to have a round rosette. Just going to quickly trim the other side so that it doesn't disturb our view. For tail, I would normally love to start at the bottom of the tail. Remember earlier I said the rosette and the tail shouldn't be touching each other, so always check when the tail is at the gay position and whether they are touching or not. If they are, trim, trim, trim. Once I got the bottom, I will determine how much length I want for the tail. Remember, the tail length is supposed to reach to the occiput of the dog. Okay, now I'm gonna do the puff and the bracelet. If the dog that you're having is not too square, you may want to leave longer hair at the back of the puff than the front, so that to shorten the body. But for Rain, he has a really pretty good structure, I would say. So I will just leave somehow proportion between front and back. And if you have a dog that has a soft coat and not so dense coat like Rain, you may want to start scissoring from the bottom so that you know how much exactly the bottom hair will support the soft coat at the above. For Rain, or just go ahead and keep shaping the half moon from every angle. For the hawk, the standard calls for perpendicular to the ground. So when I style the bracelet, I stack the dog nicely and then I do a straight line at the hawk. But towards the ground, where the hawk and the ground meets, I normally like to do a little 45 degree. This is just to show a better angulation and gait. For the comb, I'm using Showtech, the long thin comb, and the short one is a finishing comb from Yeoh. I will leave all the products that I'm using for this video at the link below so that you can refer to them. You can see some of the hair at the bottom underline. It's from the non-show side. So I'm gonna go ahead to trim the non-show side so that you can have a better view. Okay, lastly, the ears. Normally, the ear length do not want to go past the point of shoulder. For me, that's because when you look at the dog, you want to look at the dog as a whole. If your eyes draw to the ear or draw to somewhere that you will keep looking at one area itself but not the whole dog, to me that's not balance. So to balance the dog, you want to show the very good forequarter, very good hindquarter. You want to show the angulation, so the ear hair shouldn't keep too long. Once again, check if you're ideal the Continental clip. If you're happy with it, then you can touch up the top knot, and here you have it. Okay, while I'm doing the touch up for the photo taking, let me show you. This is Rain. Few years ago when he just came to us, he just got his Thailand champion and he's in a mess. So we keep him and we show him, and he has got his Malaysian title. And what's next for him? He's going to Vietnam. He's going to a show family, my student in Vietnam. I'm gonna miss him, but I know he's in good hand and he's gonna be happy there. I wish him all the best. And that's all for today's video. I hope you have learned something. Do let me know what other video you would like me to do in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time.